Guys, sometimes I genuinely feel like pro players are going to be the death of this game. And it really has to do with the fact that this game is not meant to be hyper balanced. This is not the next CS:GO esports game. I think a lot of pro players get really frustrated at the idea that the game is not balanced for them. And they have a big voice in the community, and people go and they listen to them because they're some of the highest level players in this game. Now, they could use the fact that they're one of the highest level players in this game to their advantage and make content to help people that aren't good at the game get better. No. Instead, what most pro players will do is they will yell about problems that literally only affect them. And next on the chopping block is Captain America, okay? If you're watching this video, okay, maybe someone who is a pro player, okay, is watching this video. There's only a couple hundred, but maybe by chance someone is. Or maybe you're a one above all player and you're watching this video and you're like, yes, Captain America is finally starting to get banned because people are realizing how truly strong he is. Hold your horses for a moment. You play in one above all, and you also play in Ignite. That is the only, and I mean only, ranks where Captain America is truly worth banning every game depending on what you're playing, okay? That is it. Most ranks in the game, Captain America is genuinely a bad tank, okay? And he gets worse the lower you go. Relative to your elo, okay? Obviously, if you're a Captain America player that's better than the elo you're in, you're gonna feel like he's really strong. But for most players in this game, you can't even play him because you're solo tanking. And when you do get to play him, you don't get the same kind of value that you would, because a lot of your value that you get on Captain America, okay? What makes Captain America so strong, and just guys, just for this video, I figured I wanted to give some of you guys that watch me, they're tank players, a little bit of a treat. So I got one of my friends that's a one above all tank player for like so many seasons now. He also plays on my team. He's really, really, really good. I got him to send me some codes of his MVP games and one above all. So I put that in the background just for you guys to enjoy. So you guys like that are maybe lower rank can kind of see what really, really good Captain America gameplay looks like. But what I was saying was Captain America, unless played on that level, and my friend, by the way, he was even explaining to me that most Captain Americas, they don't even get this kind of value out of him because it's the kind of value you only get from having elite level game knowledge, routing, and awareness and game sense. Like the kind of game sense you get Eternity Plus. That kind of game sense. Most ranks in the game, Captain America, truthfully guys, he is nowhere near Nerf level. Is he strong? Okay, you could say he's strong. But are we just gonna be nerfing tanks because they're strong? Okay, what about Phoenix? Okay, Daredevil's still strong. Let's nerf him again. How about Phoenix, Elsa? Let's nerf every duelist. Let's nerf every support that is strong. Okay? No, I'm sorry. I'm tired of it. And I don't know why it's this sudden attack of Captain America. But then I remember, oh wait, people in Ignite, all the pro players in Ignite, they have finally realized or figured him out how to play him in Ignite, in this pro setting where you have perfect team synergy, and every ounce of the distraction you are creating or the sustain you are causing in the enemy's backline, every ounce of that is perfectly utilized by your team that is hard comming with you on the highest level this game has. Great for you, okay? You figured out how good he is on that level. What about the rest of the player base? Like, I don't care, guys, that I'm a high-ranked player in this game. I'm a content creator first. Before I'm like a high-ranked player in this game, I'm a content creator first. And one of the benefits of making content is you're constantly interacting with everyone. You're constantly looking at different perspectives and trying to understand what's best for the game. The amount of times I have not only received comments, but I've looked at win rates, I've looked at numbers, and you could see very clearly most ranks in this game, Captain America is not a good tank. And this is why I don't understand why a lot of people listen to pro players that aren't on the level of Eternity or above. If you're Eternity or above, sure, maybe you can look at a pro player tier list and it'll apply to you more because you're on that level. And that's great. There is a lot of people that are in Eternity in this game or have been Eternity or are trying to get to Eternity. Maybe you're in Celestial and you want to reach Eternity or one above all. And you're looking at these pro player tier lists and that matters to you. That's fine. But you are not the majority. It's important to understand that. When I made my tier list, I specifically called it a high rank tier list, Celestial Plus, not Pro Play. So this tier list does impact all people that are trying to reach a semi-high rank in the game. Celestial, I would consider a high rank. It's a high rank in the game. And so from that perspective, I'm trying to understand like the overall landscape of the game. Now, for example, I genuinely think people need to stop taking pro players' opinions seriously. A great example, I'm going to explain exactly why, is in a recent video from Light. I watched through it a little bit, and one of the first things I heard like 5 minutes in was, Magic is weak, Magic is terrible, and she's one of the worst heroes in the game. Magic has had one of the highest win rates since the game has come out. She has been one of the highest win rate duelists in the game. What a lot of pro players fail to understand is, I've explained this in so many videos before, and I get it, guys. If you're a really, really high rank like dive main, it's hard to accept this and you don't like it, and I get it. I get that you might not like how dive is not super strong and really high rank like Black Panther or Magic or Spider-Man on the same level that like Jean or Elsa is. I get why you're frustrated about that. But it's just, at some point, there has to be a little bit of self-awareness and understanding the game is not balanced around the top 1% of players. It just isn't. Magic is a... Dive fundamentally, okay? Fundamentally, Dive gets all of their value, or most of their value, on uncoordinated people. You're playing Magic and you use your basic one-shot combo on two supports that don't have a lot of awareness. You just kill them instantly. You put that same combo in really high rank, you just used all your abilities and they just out-healed you. And now you have, just all you have is your portals to get out, and now you have a bunch of downtime. You used all your abilities for the same kind of value that a hit-scan player that hits every shot could get, poking from the back line, maybe even land a kill with a Mantis damage boost. I get it, okay? I get it. I understand where all you guys are coming from that are vouching for this side. But the game is just not balanced for you. It's balanced around all the people that fund the game. And that is the absolute truth. It is the truth. Magic and all these divers are very strong on console. PlayStation 5 numbers leaked, by the way. Just PlayStation 5. Just to give you guys perspective, for all you guys that like looking at Steam charts, PlayStation 5 only, not even Xbox or Switch or all whatever freaking consoles this game is played on. I don't know, it's played on a bunch of different things, okay? But just console, PS5, okay, only PS5. 1.5 million unique players in 1 week. Not even the month, 1 week. That's a lot of players. That certainly trumps the Steam numbers, and that's just PlayStation 5. Now, how many of those players are not high rank? 99%, 98% are not Celestial Plus, where this stuff starts to matter more. And that is the absolute truth. And then there's players on PC that aren't just low rank, but are quick play enjoyers that aren't even included in the statistic. If you don't play ranked at all, you're not bronze. You're now not even in the statistic. So really, the top 1% is even lower, because quick play players don't even count towards that percent. You look at all these rank distribution charts, like the one NetEase gives you in the game where you hit a rank. If you hit like Celestial something, you'll say a top 1% or whatever. Yeah, that's of ranked players, okay? What about all the players that played in quick play? That maybe they're actually a good player, but it's quick play. It's by its nature not very coordinated. You play Magic and you're a support player and you're just not that good at the game. It's fine. You're still the audience. You load into the game. It's a Marvel game. You want to have fun. Why should you, just because you're not that great at the game, why should your experience not matter? I get if this is a game like CSGO, or maybe some of the more really hyper-competitive games, where the esports scene is 10 times or more the size of Marvel Rivals, where the esports scene genuinely funds the game because of how popular it is. Like, I think a good example is if you look at the Overwatch esports. It is the Overwatch esports alone, and Overwatch is a way, way less popular game in terms of raw numbers, okay? Numbers, player count on all platforms, way less popular. Yet the esports scene is still like 5x the size of Marvel Rivals, okay? So in a game like Overwatch, where it's a very, very dedicated base of fanatics, okay? A very dedicated base. You look at a game like that, and you're like, okay, it kind of makes sense a bit that they balance a bit more for the esports scene, because it's very popular, and a lot of their core base is hyper-competitive players. Now, maybe I'm a little bit wrong about this in terms of the numbers, but you guys get my point, okay? Then it makes a bit more sense to take into account a lot of the higher elo players frustrations with the game in terms of balancing. But the truth is, like, again, I'm going to reference this again, okay? But I looked on Light's video about, who's a pro player, by the way. I looked at one of his videos, and the one where he wanted to rework some of the heroes. Let me just tell you guys 2 of the examples I saw, and this would genuinely kill the game. Spider-Man, his change was 50 bonus overhealth on every swing. An additional ability that makes it to where you dodge the next attack you receive within a short window. That alone would kill the game. Okay, that's just Spider-Man, by the way. Now, here's the thing. I will grant him this. In Ignite, that would bring him up to a more viable state. Because you look at a hero like Magic or Spider-Man, okay? They are not really played in Ignite. His sphere, a pro player, okay? His sphere, he's a pro player. That's his sphere. I get it. You know, you're advocating for your own space. Well, I'm going to advocate for the space that I talk for, which is the average player, okay? The average player. The average player, you're telling me, is going to have a Spider-Man diving them with an additional 100 health, plus an ability that will dodge the next attack? Yeah, no. And that's just Spider-Man. You don't even want to hear about his BP buffs, by the way. It gets even better, guys. And the list goes on and on and on of how, okay, that makes sense if you're balancing for pro play. It does. You're balancing for pro play, that kind of buff would probably make Spider-Man a much more of a viable option. I would actually agree that, you know, that's not that bad. Exclusively looking at Ignite, whom I do not care about, and I do not think most players in this game should care about at all. It has no impact on you. How many of you guys watching this video right now, okay, watching this video right now, would think that their experience playing this game, okay, not Spider-Man players, okay, not you guys are, take some bias out, okay, so if you guys are watching this video and you do not play Spider-Man, how many of you genuinely think 50 overhealth on every Spider-Man swing, plus a new ability that will dodge the next attack, how many of you genuinely think this would actually be good for the game and not make dive completely run rampant? I know we're getting off topic on Captain America nerfs, but it all comes back full circle. Captain America is not good for the majority of the players playing this game. If you want to balance the game for Ignite and pro play, it's going to need like 10x the audience it has now, to the point where that's actually bringing the game more money. Right now, the pro scene is actually sucking money out of the game. It's being funded by the casuals, which is the funny thing. The pro scene in Rivals is currently in its infancy. It is so small that NetEase has to keep pumping money into it for it to have even a chance of succeeding. Sure, maybe someday, okay, maybe someday it'll reach that point, but we are not there. We are not there. This is a Marvel game. Marvel Rivals is on its pace to becoming a staple household game. As long as Marvel as a whole continues to be an IP that is loved by everyone across, I don't know about the globe, what the numbers are, but at least in America and the West, okay? As long as Marvel continues to be as popular as it is, Marvel Rivals, I mean, don't reference other Marvel games, okay? This is Marvel Rivals, a hero shooter that is truly peak hero fantasy. It really is. It does not, you cannot compare it to other games like Marvel Snap, okay? You cannot compare it to other games. It is on pace to becoming a staple household game. You want to experience a game playing as Hulk, Marvel Rivals is the game for you. You can log into Quick Play, you can get skins, you can genuinely be engaged in the game, log on after a long day of work, go into Quick Play, mess around with some friends, have fun. And that's what this game is about. And sure, ranked mode, by the way, is like, it's not even as popular of a game mode as Quick Play. And this whole conversation in this video, I was already talking about balancing the game for players that aren't high rank. What about quick play players? What about them, huh? What about quick play players who every game is highly disorganized? Now going back to Captain America, I get it, guys, okay? A lot of tank players, even like really high elo tank players, they're generally not that vocal, okay? They don't cry out nearly as much as duelist and support mains do on really high elo. That's one thing I've noticed a lot, okay? You have a lot of support mains of all elos always crying about dive and duelists. And then you have duelists always crying about supports. It genuinely feels like tank players do the least amount of crying. They do. They've also have had the least amount of broken heroes. And I think a big reason is other roles, they fight amongst themselves. Like, duelists have wars between each other. Poke versus dive. We all know about this. Like, dive duelists and poke duelists are, like, at each other's neck. Like, genuine warfare. Like, Daredevil and dive players want Phoenix gutted into a wheelchair, crippled, and deleted from the game. And poke mains feel the same thing about dive players. You don't see this kind of warfare amongst tank mains. You don't. When they would nerf a tank, yeah, tank players are upset. They get upset, of course, but they just play a different tank. They adapt and they play a different tank. Duelist players never do this, okay? They never do this. Dive gets nerfed. We're never gonna play poke. This game is dead. Spam every video. Dive is dead. Look, I get it. You know, I understand the frustration with bad balancing sometimes. But the reason why I'm mentioning this right now about being vocal about these different things, the reason why I'm mentioning it is because that's the reason tanks keep getting shafted. And that's the reason why all these content creators now are speaking out about Captain America. Because most of the loudest voices are duelists and support players. And a lot of the tank mains don't even get this kind of value on Captain America. So they're not even complaining about it because they don't even get this kind of value, let alone perceive or even see it, because they're not one above all, where this is literally the only rank where this kind of value is being obtained by this tank. Sure, we have a really strong tank that people have finally figured out, and now we have this massive campaign to nerf it. Where is this massive campaign to nerf everything else? Okay, where? Sure, characters like Hela, okay, are strong, but they're not broken, overpowered. Screw it, if we're nerfing Captain America, if we're gonna nerf Captain America, I'm sorry, I want to see like everything else nerfed. If we nerf Captain America, I want to see Daredevil nerfed again. I want to see Phoenix wheelchaired. I want to see Gambit nerfed again, Luna Snow, White Fox, who else, you name it. If we're gonna nerf Captain America, they better, and I mean they better have a patch where they nerf all that crap. Okay, everything that is strong, okay, they better nerf all of that if they're going to nerf Captain America. That is the truth. If they're not going to do that, if they're going to come out with a patch where they just nerf Captain America and everything else is fine, people aren't going to cry that much because tank players genuinely don't. Every time tanks get nerfed, you just don't see this outcry. You don't. It's the truth. You don't. We saw what happened when Daredevil got a dash nerf. He's still permabanned, by the way. Daredevil gets a dash nerf. Content creation everywhere. Spam. Dive is dead. Netties would never do it to poke. I hate Zeong. What is he doing? This game sucks. And yet when a tank gets nerfed, not even like 5% of that level of outcry happens. So I feel like I have to make these kinds of videos because it's not right. It's not right. And I'm a content creator before I'm a high-ranked player of this game. That is what I do when I make these videos. I talk for the average player's experience, and I care about the long term and the health of this game. The game, as it stands now, is not balanced around pro play, and it shouldn't. That's not what drives the money for this game. It's like pro players is only a couple hundred. The viewership is way less than Overwatch, who Marvel Rivals has 10x the amount of players. Yet the Overwatch scene is way smaller. I mean, sorry, the Marvel Rivals esports scene is way smaller. We should not be balancing the game around pro players. That's all for today's video, guys. I really had to talk about this today. I just got so... my blood was boiling when I saw this massive push out of nowhere to nerf Captain America. And I'm like, oh god, we're not back here again, are we? Are we still doing this? Are we still doing this? As a community, we're still genuinely taking, like, these pro player campaigns to nerf heroes seriously. Like, are we serious? Like, I think you watching this video, if you're a lower ranked player, how about think about your own experience? If you're someone that watches a pro player and you're like, you know, maybe he's right about this tank, your own experience matters too. It does. And maybe you're someone, think about it this way, guys. Maybe you're someone that has been stuck in Diamond for 8 seasons. You're a Diamond, as funny as this might sound, okay? You're a Diamond Elo veteran. You know Diamond? You know Diamond better than anybody. You know what's meta in that Elo. And your experience for your rank range, it does matter. Pro players care about their little sphere, which it makes sense that they do. But that's not what I'm going to advocate for, because that's not what's best for the future of the game. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you do, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, turn the bell for notifications so you can see when my videos are. As always, guys, take care.